Well, Beatrice, the anticipation here among the many thousands of Chinese nationals who've turned out to welcome the President and the First Lady is building rapidly. You can see here the numbers that are joined welcoming the President to Buckingham Palace. To the right, it's there. At the end of the day, we'll be seeing a state banquet when anyone who's anyone in Britain will be attending, including, of course, the President and the First Lady and the UK Prime Minister David Cameron. But in the meantime, these people here are waiting for this hugely significant royal carriage ride by the President down the Mall. Before that happens, he will be given a formal welcome by the Queen and Prince Philip in Horse Guards Parade, where there will be a ceremonial salute from the many thousands of troopers dressed in their full ceremonial kit. Later in the day, he will be addressing both Houses of Parliament at Westminster. There he'll be talking about the strength of relations, the maturing of relations, as the Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond described them, those maturing relations between Britain and China. Having said that, it's a morning of red flags, red carpets, perhaps the President's favourite colours. In the afternoon, it'll be an afternoon of politics, but underwriting all the pomp and ceremony and the politics is the commercial drive behind this state visit. Hugely important, and adding up, according to the British government, into a sum in the region of $45 billion. That's the amount, that's the price tag they're attaching to the deals that are going to be signed in the few days that the President and the First Lady are here in London on their state visit.
Well, Richard, this visit is considered hugely important. Why is it considered so?
Well, it's important because what you're talking about here is not just a warming of a relationship between Britain and China. It is the relations between Britain and China at their best in history. We're talking about a complete recalibration of relations between the two, diplomatic and political, but also a huge strengthening in trade ties. The British government, through the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, have made clear they regard this as the beginning of a golden era. And by that they mean within 10 years they want to see Britain being the second biggest trading partner for China. At the moment, Britain languages sixth. They are also hugely eager on a massive influx of investment, and that is coming. I mean, I'm getting reports today, Beatrice, that the deal between the French energy giant EDF and the two Chinese nuclear power companies was signed for Britain's first nuclear power station in 2 decades. It was signed just a matter of hours before the arrival of the President. Now that apparently is going to be formally announced on Wednesday and probably in talks with the Prime Minister David Cameron. But there are a number of others. I mean, for example, there is an investment company that's investing something in the region of $8 billion in recreation theme parks, in fish farms, using the wastewater, the hot water from power stations in Britain. But the list goes on, and that is the significance, that beneath all that pomp and ceremony, beneath the politics and the talking and the photo opportunities, lies this very real financial, economic and trading relations, and both sides are very keen to see that develop.
All right, Richard Bestick outside Buckingham Palace following all the developments for us from the United Kingdom. Thank you.